After taking on side-scrolling ninja action with The Messenger, Sabotage Studios set its sights on recapturing the essence of classic RPGs like Chrono Trigger, Golden Sun, and Paper Mario. Now, with their work complete, Sea of Stars provides an adventure that stands up strongly among such highly regarded peers. With gorgeous visuals, fun characters, and finely tuned combat mechanics, it successfully brings back those characteristic vibes, while polishing things up to deliver something modern and new. Your journey in Sea of Stars begins with a pair of solstice warriors, children blessed with magic to control the sun and moon in order to defend against evil monstrosities. As you follow their coming of age and travels through new lands, the tone feels fun and lighthearted, despite the threat of world-ending events. Most of the game doesn't get too deep or emotional, but there are hints of mystery dropped here and there. Once the game decides to cash in on your emotional investment, though, it cashes in hard and continues to provide payoff after payoff throughout its final hours. While they're far from silent, the two main protagonists still essentially come across as player avatars. Their personalities are more or less interchangeable, and they're the least interesting of the bunch. However, this serves as a baseline perspective into the wonderful cast of characters you meet along the way. From a misunderstood mole child, to an eccentric band of pirates, to a mysterious assassin who soon joins your team. The best of them all is undoubtedly Garl, the warrior cook and childhood friend who tags along, despite a lack of any magical ability. Garl is the heart and soul of Sea of Stars, and smacking enemies with his pot lid feels great every time. Combat in Sea of Stars takes inspiration from several games, but the strongest influence is clearly Chrono Trigger, particularly evidenced by the way you start combat encounters. Enemies patrol certain areas of a level, and when you come in contact with them, everyone takes battle positions right there, without cutting away to a separate battle screen. The flow of combat is purely turn-based, but similar to the Mario RPGs, timed button presses augment your attacks and abilities. This can be as simple as tapping the button just as a sword slash connects to get a second hit, or you may be able to bounce back a projectile over and over at ever-increasing speeds, testing your ability to keep it going for as long as you can. Each of your party members' skills has a different timing element to learn, and likewise, it can take quite a bit of practice and observation to figure out the best moments to block enemy attacks. Additionally, when enemies begin casting spells or gearing up to use more devastating skills of their own, a series of locks appears over their heads, requiring you to match the symbols with corresponding damage types to cancel the move. There are also special combo attacks between specific allies, which are a joy to unlock and watch play out. Physical attacks refill MP, droplets of live mana can be used to boost attacks with elemental effects, and overall, the combat system has a strong interplay among all its systems. With new enemy types, skills, and more being continuously introduced, fights stay engaging throughout, particularly as later enemies play with your expectations, and bosses make it tricky to sort out how to break their casts in time. A lot of elements have been streamlined in smart, simple ways. Your party gains experience as a whole, so everyone levels up at once, no one gets left behind. After you get more than 3 characters in your party, you can swap between them on the fly without wasting an action during your turn. And when a character gets knocked out, they auto-revive after a certain number of turns, so you aren't stuck in a frustrating defensive loop just trying to cling to a shred of life. Equipable accessories, which are often tricky to find, give you distinct, meaningful boosts. Meanwhile, relics offer different, specific forms of accessibility, such as not having to worry as much about timed attacks or having your health refill automatically between battles. Plus, there are a few relics you can buy that make things more challenging as well. Of course, the game isn't all combat, and Sabotage has done an excellent job of designing levels that are rewarding to explore. They aren't overly straightforward, nor are they mazes of frustration, but they're full of layers, vertical spaces to climb, bits of platforming, and lots of side pockets with hidden gear and other goodies. Simple but interesting puzzle mechanics are introduced throughout dungeons, such as using a wind bracelet to slide blocks into place, or shifting the time of day to direct beams of light. There's also a sweet grappling spear that allows you to cross gaps, as well as get an easier first strike when starting battles. In terms of pacing, the game has an unquestionably slow start in the first couple hours, as you recap the duo's life story, training in the academy, sewing their magical garments, and so on. However, the remaining 40 hours keeps it moving. You continually find yourself in new and exciting places with stimulating characters, larger-than-life bosses, and fresh abilities that are a joy to experiment with. The sequence of events is certainly linear through most of the game. However, there's a beneficial focus to its structure that keeps you from meandering too much too soon. It also walks a fine line in terms of difficulty that few RPGs manage to achieve. You're not likely to get over-leveled, and you shouldn't need to grind. New enemy encounters and bosses stay right in that nice sweet spot to keep you on your toes the whole way through. The further you get in Sea of Stars, the more things start to open up, with a variety of collectibles and side activities to seek out. There are fishing ponds dotting the map with different species in each. You enlist the services of a familiar construction worker to help build a new town. There's a fantastic little miniatures game called Wheels, with champions to challenge in various taverns. And there are great touches like being able to make camp, where you can check in with your team and listen to stories from a traveling historian, based on collectibles you find during your journey. After you reach the end, it's very much worth it to follow up on every loose thread that remains. However, the game could really use some form of escape rope to quickly exit back to the overworld, since backtracking to find missing collectibles in previous dungeons can get a little tedious. Perhaps one of the best parts of Sea of Stars is its presentation. It takes on the aesthetic of a classic 16-bit RPG, but uses modern capabilities to go far beyond the limitations of the day. Real-time lighting sources cast shadows as you walk by, crossing over water reveals reflections, and most impressive is just the sheer number of distinct characters, enemies, and bosses that appear over the course of the game. The music paints a wonderful palette of varied moods, from the adventurous theme of sailing your ship from island to island to the absolutely creepy vibes of the more haunted and twisted environments. And some of the boss themes are total showstoppers. Put it all together, and Sea of Stars is a work of incredible craftsmanship that captures the essence of the classics that inspired it without feeling like a mere copycat. It's easy to feel the love that went into every inch of making it, and it simply gets better as it goes. Not only that, but in a year with so many massive games with complex systems and inventories to manage, Sea of Stars feels genuinely refreshing, like a splash of cool water on your face. Final score, 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching our review. We're Easy Allies. We've been writing about games for decades, and we also do podcasts, streams, shows, and more, all funded by regular viewers just like you. Head to patreon.com/easyallies to pitch in and get rewards. And be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay connected on YouTube. See you soon.